Her name is Miss Mary. She's the Anarchy Angel. She's the first Anarchy. And she told me that if I found her in town, that we're going to kiss under the mistletoe. So you look through there. You tell me, what room is she in? I mean, what cabinet does she have around here? I mean, there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them. Let me check.
Look. And while he's looking for Miss Mary so I can go kiss under the mistletoe, right now is coming up one of the biggest matches on Season's Beatings. We are going to see the Devil's Rejects. Dan Wilson bringing in his lead of team to take on the NWA Elite with Jeff G. Bailey and the return of the man we used to know as Michael Judas. Fresh from Puerto Rico, joined the Elite in this battle of 6-man. Have you found her yet? Where's she at?
Find her.
You can't. Where she is. Where's she at? Greg, who are you talking to? He's looking for Miss Mary.
It's Mary.
I can't find her.
What? Let me talk to her.
Yeah. Okay. No. She hung up. She said you want to kiss her under the mistletoe. She's down on the corner about 2 blocks down. Fans, let's get back to the theater.
That work?
Jeff G. Bailey, you might have just seen possibly the most evil that the NWA Arena has ever seen tonight in the Devil's Rejects.
Get out of here. What are you talking about? Evil? Where were you last week when we humiliated the Devil's Rejects? Dan Wilson, even by the intellectually forgiving standards of pro wrestling, you are an idiot. You're walking ectoplasm. No brain, no spine, no guts, no heart. A coward who hides behind a bunch of buffoons. The Devil's Rejects are a joke to me. We're the NWA Elite. We rule the NWA. It's Onyx, the genetic specimen. Onyx, take that shirt off. Show him that body. This is what you have to look forward to, Devil's Rejects. The feature presentation. Jeff Lewis, the most skilled professional wrestler you're ever going to get in the ring with. And then, oh my God, Michael Judas, a man who emerged from the black hole and is back with one purpose, and that is to destroy every stinking reject you can scrape up, Dan. So tonight, you round them all up. Bring Tank and Iceberg, the shaved apes. Bring Azrael and the sleeper cell Shawn Tippers. And even better, Dan, bring yourself, because tonight, the NWA Elite is gonna make you scream like the mother of a molested child. Tonight, Dan.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is your official handshake of Ashworth.
Leads to the ring. The single most hated, reviled, and villainous group in the sport of professional wrestling today, the Devil's Rejects.
Greg Hunter, I just want to point something out. I mean, I totally agree with you, but Eddie Rich announced Dominus, and conspicuous by his absence, Dominus is not with the Devil's Rejects here tonight.
That notwithstanding, the Devil's Rejects, certainly a force to be reckoned with. They may be evil, but their opponents are led by a man who wrote the book.
And now, her opponent.
Standing before you, the NWA Elite, 3 times Wildside Heavyweight Champion, the genetic powerhouse Onyx, the former Anarchy Heavyweight Champion, the feature presentation, Jeff Lewis, and like I said, a man who wrote the book on evil, Jeff G. Bailey. Just 2 of the 3 men that we know of tonight comprise the NWA Elite. The man you see before you approaching agent attorney Jeff G. Bailey is the second man to ever hold the Anarchy Heavyweight title. He was the longest reigning Anarchy champion in history at 8 months. We knew him as the one-man mafia. He is now known as Michael Judas. And right, Bailey's calling for the music to go down.
Well, Dan, it looks like there's 4 of you and only 3 of us. But what you seem to not understand is your little piss puddle of the rejects is nothing to the bottomless pit of talent that the NWA Elite has. So tonight, I'm bringing out a man who is not only the longest reigning world television champion, but he has drained more blood than the Red Cross. So Dan, here you go. This is my gift to you and your rejects. Merry Christmas, jerk off.
Oh my God, I know that music.
Greg Hunter, Michael Adrian may have been the second man to hold that NWA Anarchy Heavyweight Championship, but this music is any indication we're about to see the first man to hold that Anarchy Heavyweight Championship.
Oh my Lord. 2 weeks ago, it was Michael Judas, and tonight, it's the Soul Assassin, Corey Chavis.
The Soul Assassin, Rainman, Corey Shaman. I know you reject too, because he beats every damn one of you.
My God in heaven, the devil himself has delivered some angels. They're not the good kind either.
The NWA Elite tonight, walking on the side of the angels, Jeff G. Bailey, already with 1 former Anarchy champion under his stable, that being Jeff Lewis. The second one, the second man to ever hold that Anarchy Heavyweight title, Michael Judas, and my God, the first ever Anarchy champion, the Soul Assassin, Corey Chavis, who frankly is absolutely no stranger to the NWA Elite, is the last man to join them this evening. This is going to be an absolute war.
Greg Hunter, one thing that I want to point out here right now, the NWA Anarchy Heavyweight Championship has lineage to the NWA Wildside Heavyweight Championship. In the ring, on the part of the Team Elite, of the NWA Elite, you have, are you ready for this one, 8 NWA Wildside and/or Anarchy Heavyweight title reigns. Onyx, of course, was a 3-time NWA Wildside Heavyweight Champion. Jeff Lewis, 1-time NWA Anarchy Heavyweight Champion. Corey Chavis, if memory serves me correctly, held that Wildside title twice, the Anarchy title once, that's 3. And of course, our man, Michael Judas, I gotta get used to that one, Greg Hunter, is a 1-time NWA Anarchy Heavyweight Championship, or Heavyweight Champion. Therefore, the Elite, no other name could serve them better than the Elite, because this is the Elite of professional wrestling.
I know you weren't here when Michael Judas made his auspicious return to the NWA arena, but the bottom line is this man who has cut a bloody swath through Puerto Rico over the last several months, a man who has enjoyed championship success home and now abroad, a transformed individual, more sadistic, more bloodthirsty, more intense than the one-man mafia Michael Adrian ever was within the confines of the NWA arena, hit the scene in grand fashion, leading the Elite's charge to frankly do something that has never been done. Lay out the Devil's Rejects, just as the Rejects laid out the NWA Elite. This, if anything, looks like it will be a war of attrition, and the bottom line is, things don't look good for the Rejects, thank God, because frankly, I got a feeling Bailey's got more troops.
Greg Hunter, the one thing that Dan Wilson did is he attacked Jerry Palmer, a man who had very little experience in the sport of professional wrestling. The one mistake that I think Dan the Dragon Wilson has made here is going after Jeff G. Bailey. Number one, Jeff G. Bailey is one of the most evil, sadistic individuals I've ever known. The man, I've considered him a close friend for many, many years, but the man is sick. The man, he watches serial killer movies just for giggles. Those are comedies to him. This man's sick. And the one thing about Jeff G. Bailey, don't think he's only a sick individual. This man has led the careers of men who have gone on to 3 NWA World Heavyweight Championships in his span. He has managed over 30 different champions on different levels in this sport. So Jeff G. Bailey is not only sadistic, the man knows the sport of professional wrestling, and he knows how to guide his men into war.
The last time I made count, and I'm fairly certain that I miscounted, Jeff G. Bailey has led in the NWA arena alone some 15 men to heavyweight gold, be it Wildside or Anarchy. The man has led 3 men who have went on to become world heavyweight champions. And just the phenomenal AJ Styles, Rod the Truth Killings, and that's just a couple of them. The bottom line is Jeff G. Bailey, who is quite frankly one of the most intelligent men in the sport today, bar none, is the man that Dan Wilson has picked this battle with. Dan Wilson, I have the suspicion, personally, he forgot everything he witnessed the 6 years that he was in our seats for NWA Wildside.
Greg Hunter, the one thing that this all stemmed out of, this stemmed out of a Fright Night, the main event of Fright Night, when Jeff G. Bailey and Jerry Palmer, of all people, collaborated, and it was Jeff G. Bailey who loaned Abyss to Jerry Palmer and Team Anarchy. And Abyss, that's the 3rd world champ right there that Jeff G. Bailey has managed and got it to that world heavyweight title. Now you have to wonder, is this all emotional for Dan Wilson, or is there some kind of deep-rooted, deep-seated plan that Dan Wilson has in mind that we don't know about?
The genetic powerhouse with a 600-pound power slam, and he is laying waste to the Rejects by himself. Referee Jacob Ashworth, the most unfortunate man in the building, as he has been assigned this contest here this evening. On the side of the Rejects, frankly, is a unified common purpose. These 5 men have a near hive mentality. They are following the orders of Dan Wilson, the Reverend, he formerly known as the Dragon, to the letter. These are men who will do anything that this man asks them to do, proven time and again to some sadistic ends. Opposing them, We've covered the one-man mafia, Michael Adrian, now Michael Judas. We've covered the soul assassin, Corey Chavis. Jeff Lewis, the former Anarchy heavyweight champion, 2 times the former television champion of the world. Onyx, a man who has held the world's television title, a man who held the Wildside Junior heavyweight title, and only the third man to ever hold, or only the only man to ever hold 3 Wildside heavyweight titles. Excuse me. Oh, good grief. They double suplexed Iceberg. If you're calling strengths in this match, I give the edge teamwork-wise, as much as I hate to say it, to the Devil's Rejects. They have fought together time and again. I give the agility edge to the NWA Elite. I give the experience to the Elite, if for no other reason than Jeff G. Bailey is standing at ringside. And the bottom line is, every man in this match has been in the big match. Every man in this match has been on the big stage. That is not an issue. They've all fought the big fights before. The question boils down to, quite frankly, you said it during the Wars with Anarchy. Anarchy wasn't evil enough to beat the Rejects. Dan Wilson says he's doing the devil's work. There are people who would tell you that Jeff G. Bailey is the devil himself.
Well, Greg Hunter, that's all fine and good, and like I said, I would love nothing more than the Elite to get rid of these Rejects. But one other point that I've got to make in this match, we have 8 men in this match. 7 of them, at one time or another, have been managed by Jeff G. Bailey. That would mean that 3 men on the Devil's Rejects know Jeff G. Bailey better than Dan Wilson would, because they've dined with the devil.
Yeah, but you also have to keep in mind that means that Jeff G. Bailey knows those 3 people equally well, and don't think for a second that he has not told the NWA Elite everything they need to know. Right now, Judas with a big running knee. That is a page out of the playbook of the son of Satan, Azrael. And right now, Tempers brought to his feet, rammed head first, tag, and in comes the first man to ever hold the Anarchy heavyweight title, the soul assassin, Corey Chavis. Referee Jacob Ashworth getting the hell out of Dodge.
I don't say that I blame him. Greg Hunter, one thing that I've done is ever since Michael Adrian left NWA Anarchy for this tour of Puerto Rico back in the summer of 2006, I've managed to keep tabs on him a little bit, and I've heard about this Michael Judas guy. And I've seen this, and I couldn't believe my eyes that this was the same man. This is not the same man, Greg Hunter. Michael Adrian, a big monster. He was huge, he was mean, but there was times that you could talk to Michael Adrian and get into his head. Michael Judas, I can't describe it, but let me tell you something. The Devil's Rejects have looked across that ring, and they found 5 men who are just as mean, just as nasty, just as sadistic, and just as evil, if not more, than they've ever been to Team Anarchy.
Cover after that facebuster from the soul assassin, Corey Chavis. Measures the man now. Big forearm. Make it another one. Corey Chavis sends the son of Satan to the near side. Blocks the kick. Back elbow. Scoops him up. And big fireman's carry into a sit-out powerbomb by the son of Satan. Tag back into the sleeper cell. And now the Devil's Rejects turning the tide. Tag. In comes the strong style Psycho Tank. Kick to the knee. And now pulling the soul assassin to his feet. Big forearm shot.
Greg Hunter, so much emotion, so many tides in this match. In the time that Wildside dominated the NWA arena in the waning months of Wildside just before Anarchy's birth, Shawn Tempers and Jeff Lewis were actually stablemates as well at one time. Pomp and Circumstance and Jeff Lewis, they formed a great alliance here. They were in the very last event of Wildside Last Rites and War Games, excuse me.
Oh, good grief. You see what he's got that crucifix, that upside down crucifix, stabbing it into the head, Michael Judas that is, stabbing it into the head of Tank. That is the same thing he did to the strong style Psycho on our last television event. tag, and in comes the feature presentation, Jeff Lewis.
Greg Hunter, I mean, like I said, the emotions, just, I mean, the energy is just running rampant in this match. I mean, two men who are basically on the same wavelength of evilness. Jeff G. Bailey and Dan Wilson are moving their men in like pawns. They're controlling them. And look at Jeff G. Bailey right there biting the forehead of the strong style Psycho, getting a taste of the blood. He's tasting the blood, Greg Hunter.
The blood of Tank now on the face of Jeff G. Bailey as he is taking a personal interest in this contest. Jeff G. Bailey. One thing, did you ever think you would see the day? Good grief. Did you ever think you would see the day that you would see Jeff G. Bailey enter an NWA event to an ovation, walking on the side of the Angels, as we've said time and again? Did you ever think you would see Jeff G. Bailey being the guy leading the fight, the good fight at that?
Greg Hunter, sometimes, you know, the fans amaze me. Sometimes they wake up from their state of stupidness and they realize that there's some intelligence out there. And that's why they start cheering for men like Jeff G. Bailey and the NWA Elite. I mean, why wouldn't you cheer for him, Greg Hunter? I mean, they're taking on the Devil's Rejects. These are five men who, one time last year, trying to take our jobs. They were trying to take everything away from us, everything away from the fans, everything away from the NWA Arena in Cornelia, Georgia. They tried to shut it down. They tried to burn it down. They tried to close it down, but they couldn't do it. And now, as they go into this battle with the NWA Elite, you have to wonder who's going to come out on top, because the one thing that's going to play itself out the most in this war is which one is willing to go the dirtiest in this game.
Well, those are depths that we may never know.
Thank God.
Right now, right hands being rained down on the bloody visage of the strong style Psycho by the Soul Assassin, Corey Chavis. And Chavis runs headlong into an elbow. Referee Jacob Ashworth being detained by the Rejects. Tag. And in comes the 600-pound being of inconceivable horror, professional wrestling's only serial killer, that being Iceberg. And right now, that staff of righteousness that Dan Wilson carries around with him rammed into the Soul Assassin. I mean, these are two groups, and being led by two men who, frankly, have completed and instructed the most unspeakable acts in the history of the NWA Arena.
And Greg Hunter, just think about this for 1 second. What kind of sick genius is Jeff G. Bailey? I mean, think about it for a second. The NWA Elite is such an exclusive fraternity. It's almost like a brotherhood. Think about this. The last time we've seen Michael Judas, Onyx, and Corey Chavis all in the ring at the same time, they were killing each other for a shot at the Anarchy Heavyweight Championship. Jeff G. Bailey has brought these men together. The last time we saw Michael Judas and Jeff Lewis in a ring together, they're trying to kill each other. Jeff G. Bailey has brought these four men together. He has combined their sick minds for one worthy cause, and that's to rid NWA Anarchy and, quite frankly, hopefully, the world of the Devil's Rejects, so we never have to see him again.
All right, now, tag. In comes the son of Satan, Azrael, stalking his prey. Corey Chavis, near lifeless in the center of the ring. Jeff G. Bailey trying to rally his charge. And the thing is, I'm not certain we've ever seen exactly how far Jeff G. Bailey would have to go. I don't think we've ever seen Jeff G. Bailey pushed to the brink of desperation. I don't know that that's ever happened. Jeff G. Bailey obviously feeling that the Devil's Rejects warrant him bringing Michael Judas from Puerto Rico, warrant the return of Corey Chavis, a man whose career at the onset of Anarchy he tried to destroy, back to the NWA Elite. I don't think we've ever seen Jeff G. Bailey pushed as far as he will have to go.
But Greg Hunter, that's the thing about it. I mean, is it desperation or is it just using what's at your arsenal? No man has ever challenged Jeff G. Bailey like this before. No group in the NWA arena has ever come in and been able to go as far as Jeff G. Bailey would go. And it's forcing his hand. And Jeff G. Bailey, I know, he's a patient man. He does have patience. He's a very intelligent man. And he has to, you have to give him credit. He has to know what he's doing.
No one ever doubted the acumen when it comes to the world of professional wrestling, the intelligence and the cunning of Jeff G. Bailey. But if we have learned anything over the past year, it is you do not question the viciousness, the brutality, and the frankly illegal lengths that the Devil's Rejects are willing to go to. The only thing that keeps half of their actions from landing them in a state prison for attempted murder is that it is done in a competitive environment.
Greg Hunter, you know, I just don't know what to think. I mean, this right here, I mean, this is not going to end tonight. These two teams, I don't think this thing's going to end until they kill each other. Now, they kill each other tonight, it may be over. But Greg Hunter, I think this is just another shot fired in what's going to be one of many shots fired. The question is, who has the longevity? Who can stand up on top when all is said and done? Now, I'm putting my money on the Elite. One other tie-in here, Greg Hunter. We talked about Jeff G. Bailey taking him in the championship. It was Iceberg who he took to the NWA Wildside Heavyweight Championship a few years back. The question remains, does Jeff G. Bailey maybe have some kind of ties with some of these guys from the Rejects and just maybe stringing Dan Wilson along? That's one thing that you got to think of. That's always got to be in the back of Dan Wilson's mind as well.
I don't necessarily know to Dan Wilson that that is an issue. These five men, put simply, are fanatics. They have a devotion to Dan Wilson that borderlines the psychotic. Drop kick from the strong style psycho, Corey Chavis. Looks to be a lump of human flesh and little more on the ring canvas. In comes the sleeper cell, Shawn Tempers. Boot to the back of Corey Chavis. And now, as him set up, perhaps looking for the Tempur-Pedic. Chavis fighting it. Elbow. He has him up. Wait a minute. Dark City Street Cutter. But does Chavis have enough?
That's one of the moves in Corey Chavis' arsenal that has won him many championships. But right now, he is in the wrong part of town. He is in Reject territory looking for a tag. And he is about 12 feet away from his corner right now, Greg Hunter.
And looking in the wrong direction. He's up. Tag. In comes Michael Judas. Tag. In comes Iceberg. Judas with a right hand. Iceberg staggers. Right hands to everybody. And Michael Judas going to town on the Devil's Rejects, much like he did on Anarchy Television in the past weeks.
Greg Hunter, this right here, I mean, this intensity that we're seeing
wait a minute.
You
didn't see this. It looked like he was setting up for what has put away many a man in Puerto Rico, the Crucifejo, his crucifix power bomb. But right now, it is all broken down. The Rejects and the Elite fighting back and forth on the side nearest us.
Wait a minute, he's got a choke on Iceberg. Oh, and Iceberg goes downstairs on Judas.
Iceberg with a clothesline. Iceberg and Michael Judas are the only two men legal. Iceberg is going up top. I don't know what in the world he can have in mind, but Michael Judas is trying to see to it that there are no glaciers, no little icebergs in the, oh, there's no way.
No way.
He cannot hit the Crucifejo on a 600-pound man!
Oh my God, Greg Hunter! Did you see the straight? Wait a minute.
God almighty. What? Dominus is lumbering to ringside. He hit the Crucifejo, the crucifix power bomb on Iceberg, and now Michael Adrian in an unusual position for him, looking up at Dominus. He throttles him. Dominus trying to fight off the grip.
And this is something that we haven't seen either, is Dominus not able to fight off a grip from somebody.
Dominus on one knee, and now Pearl Harbor from Iceberg. Oh my Lord! Choke slam by Dominus.
Now Greg Hunter, I mean, Dominus is not part of this match.
Ground zero splash. And right now, referee Jacob Ashworth being pulled out of the ring. He gets drilled by Tank. Another ground zero splash.
These guys play by their own rules, Greg Hunter. This is sickening.
The NWA Elite right now being attacked.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Devil's Rejects has been disqualified. Your winners of the match, the NWA Elite.
The NWA Elite may win by disqualification, but that is of little. Oh God! Oh my God!
Greg Hunter, it looks like the Rejects have sunk lower than the Elite.
The Devil's Rejects are attempting, there's no attempting, they have decimated Michael Judas. And now the NWA Elite going in to check on Judas. Jeff G. Bailey trying to rouse Michael Judas. The Devil's Rejects, ladies and gentlemen, disqualified, obviously for the outside interference of Dominus.
Well, that didn't do it. Attacking a referee did.
And certainly, there is no way that this could possibly be over. Jeff G. Bailey, telling them they've not accomplished anything here tonight. And as you and I both know, Jeff G. Bailey, not a forgiving man in the slightest. This is far from over, fans. The season's beatings will continue in moments.